Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. I'm your host, Doomcutie, and with me I have my co-hosts Liessshy
Hello.
and Ellie.
Hello.
Welcome in, everyone. How are we feeling today?
Pretty good, actually.
I was
Good
jamming to the theme song, and I was lost in the sauce.
To the
and I
intro
forgot.
music.
Yeah,
We love
I
that.
just vibe.
So catchy.
Oh my goodness. Well, as always, thank you so much to our product sponsor, Elgato, for making us look and sound our very best on Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. We love a bit of Elgato around here. So
Yeah.
That we do.
You'll notice that it's only just the three of us, and I don't mean just the three of us, like to diminish who we are, because we're all experts in our own kind of niche of the gaming space. So I think I really wanted to try and make this episode about things that we personally enjoy. So you'll definitely get to hear a little bit more from us on the panel, and I'm endeavoring to make this more of a regular thing, because it's wonderful to bring other women on this podcast, but we are also valuable as well. So yeah, and it's important to highlight that, especially the amazing and incredible work that Ellie and Liessshy do. In the
And
gaming
you.
community.
Don't forget about yourself.
Yeah.
We've all got expertise.
So amazing. So it has been already such a cracking start to September in gaming. What has everyone been playing? Ellie, what have you been playing?
I have just started Under the Waves, which is I haven't sunk a lot of hours into it at the moment, maybe about 1 or 2, but it's given Subnautica vibes. I'm not sure if you guys have ventured into Subnautica, but it's obviously under the waves. We're under the ocean.
Okay.
And I think it's between like an action or adventure game mixed with cozy, because I looked into it because under the water, it can be quite claustrophobic. I was a bit nervous.
Oh,
So
yeah.
apparently there's nothing too heart racing, but there's like a couple of missions where it's a bit dicey.
Mhm.
But it's like a couple missions, it's a bit crazy, but not a lot. So it's between what I would like to think like a cozy but like adventurous. But I will admit, yesterday I got to a point where I ran out of I forget what they're called, oxygen cylinders, I think they are.
Yeah.
I've run out of them. So I have like maybe a minute's worth of oxygen, and I
my
don't
God.
know how to get more because I'm fresh in the
that
game.
freaks me out.
And so I left the game. I was too scared. I'm like, what do I do? Am I going to drown? Like, and I can't have it. Like, I get that it's a game and it's fake. I can't have it. So I exited the game, and I'm hoping to pick it up again later tonight. But I'm scared. So that's what I've been. That's what I've been playing.
Keep us posted, please. That sounds so intense.
Yeah.
And I find that I think that kind of game is becoming a little bit more popular. I have no idea if it's because of recent news headlines surrounding submarines. But I've played a couple of those games or noticed them a little bit more lately. So sounds like a challenging time, Ellie.
Yes. To say the least.
Liessshy, has any games challenged you this week, or have you just been cruising?
Not challenged, but I got to be honest, I've actually gone backwards in the world of games. I had a big craving to go back and play Immortals Phoenix Rising. It is one of my favorite games from Ubisoft, and I love that game so much. And it's been a few years since I've played it, and I don't know, something came over me. I'm like, I need to play it. So I reinstalled it again, and I've been loving it. And I never actually got to play the new DLC. So I'm going to play the game again and then do the new content that I haven't done before, and it'll feel like a whole new game to me. So yeah, I think I just kind of needed to take a little bit of a break from Palia because that's pretty much all I've been playing, and jump into some puzzles, little bit more of an open world. And yeah, I'm just, it's just such a good game. And I'm really sad that there was apparently a sequel to it coming that they've scrapped, because this game really needs a
Yeah.
sequel and they're just not doing it anymore. So that breaks my heart.
Yeah,
Mm.
I did hear that, and through
Mm.
the gaming grapevine. Unfortunately, like
Yes.
a lot of people, assume that a new game coming out and a game cancelled means that they replaced this game with that game, and that's not always the case.
No.
But yeah, I hate when that happens with a gaming franchise that you love.
Mhm.
It's always really disappointing. So, but I'm glad you've been enjoying that. I haven't played that game, so, but
Oh,
I know lots of people are.
Yeah, if you like Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed, it's a really good combination of
Okay.
both, but a little bit more cartoony is not the right word. A little bit more animated. There's funny sides to it in regards to the narration, and yeah, like it's a really good game. You should give it a go.
All right. Well, if I can tear myself away from a very out of this world game, if you could call it that, Starfield has my attention, and it's going to have my attention for a long
long
time
time.
now, I feel.
Yeah.
That oh my goodness, I'm sure that you're probably seeing it everywhere, right? Like there's not many people who aren't, who don't know what Starfield is. Although I was in a so before the release of Starfield, I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. And in
Yes.
Baldur's Gate have a so Larian Studios have a Discord. And inside the Discord, you can just join people and just play with them if you want. And
That's
I was
cool.
like, well, I
Oh.
felt like the game was a little bit challenging for me. So I was like, maybe if I join a group, then I can, because I'm finding the turn-based combat and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, I need more practice. So yeah, I joined in there and saw all these groups. It was okay. We had a couple of people. There was this one guy in there, and he was like, yeah, let's play. So there was 4 of us, and he we went in, and if you know the beginning of Baldur's Gate 3, you sort of you're first introduced to the combat, and when I remember we killed the very first thing, and every single one of us got over 10,000 XP. Like all the numbers on, like, because when you get the XP above your head, it'll tell you the number of XP. And usually killing an enemy might give you 50 if it's a big one.
Oh.
And we got thousands. Anyway, so it was mental. And then everyone was like, yeah, like if this is, if someone's got a mod on, like this is going to be a bad time for me. I'm not really keen on that. And like, I agree, obviously. And then we realized it was this one guy, and he was acting like he didn't know what was going on. It was mental. Anyway, long story short, he had a leveling mod on. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't even know you could have that on Baldur's Gate 3. But yes, good times. But how does that link to Starfield? Well, someone said, it's okay, next week you'll probably be playing Starfield. And someone was like, what's Starfield? So, I mean, I guess there might be people that don't know what Starfield is.
I mean, that's pretty wild
Anyway.
though, isn't it? Like that's like staying properly off the interwebs to not know. Or like not watching the showcases, because that's all it was
Yeah.
on the show. A couple months ago, like when us
Yeah.
poor Australians had to get up at like the crack of dawn to watch
3
all of these.
2
Oh,
a.m.
Thankfully I was up, living my best life, but I could watch a little bit in my tired haze, just enough to see Starfield that I was like, I love it. And then they said open world, and my heart shattered in front of me because
Oh,
my brain
yes.
needs to finish games, and knowing that I
Yeah,
can't
same.
finish open world, I was like, do I dare? And the fact that it's on Xbox and PC, and then I was like, do I buy an Xbox?
Well,
Just do it.
Tempting.
how good is your PC?
Well, my
Not good.
PC, she's decent. She's built for editing essentially, so she's decent. But my husband is, I call him Tech Support Sam on my stream because he does everything, and Tech Support Sam knows everything. And I was talking to him about my PC, and he said, "No words, just the head shake." And so I knew death crack in front of my face. No Starfield on my PC.
Can I play it?
Yeah. So apparently,
What about his PC?
She's ancient. His PC is NASA technology. It
Cool,
sits
just
right
take
next
that.
to me, stares
Oh.
at me, mocks me, and says, "I'm better than you," every single day. Now that we share a
just-
room,
That's
his and
not
hers.
acceptable.
No. But do you know what the other side of it? PC. But we'll discuss that later. But your gal might get an Xbox. We'll see.
Well, I've been playing it on the Series S, and a lot of people were thinking, oh, it might not run that well. It's been great. The game's 30 frames per second, which some people were balking at, but I believe the term smooth like butter has been,
Ooh.
yeah, that's
Well,
the term coined around
Yeah.
town about Starfield.
Remind me again, Xbox S, that's the digital console, isn't it? And the X is the disc console.
That's correct.
Mm.
It also it doesn't have as much storage. It's not as powerful, but for the
Yes.
size of it, it's pretty powerful.
Yes.
It's very portable. There is like a screen you can buy for it, and yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, the entry level for like for getting an S compared to buying like a whole new PC. Yeah, and that is a topic we will talk a little bit later. But yeah, we're accidentally moving ahead.
Yes.
That's the I want to speaking of getting ahead, there's an Australian esports team, specifically the female division, and they've been competing in a variety of CS:GO competitions. Now, honestly, these girls, they would put the Matildas to shame with just how they look amazing.
Isn't it funny you say that? Because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, the internet Matildas. Like, that's literally, my brain was like, the internet Matildas.
But we honestly, we love to see it. Like, they have been defeated by I think they were defeated by Poland. But yeah, I was like, if I was growing up and I saw these competitions, I probably would have invested a little bit more time
Yeah, for
into
sure.
playing these games. But yeah, it's like I loved litseeing all their tweets about them, traveling around everywhere and working together, and they do like little like team-based exercises, and I really, really love their poster. So when you think about an esports poster, what do you think about? Like the stance of people?
Yeah, like this. They got their arms crossed.
Like
It's
this,
very
right?
strong, masculine positioning.
Neon. I think
Neon,
neon.
yeah.
Like the purple is always like misty dark purple with neon and a bit of
there's
black.
always like a smoke machine. Like I don't
Yes,
know,
smoke
just
machine.
everywhere they go.
I hate them things. Hate them. I hate the smell. Worst part about primary school discos, smoke machines. Leave the room.
You're gonna have a lot to look forward to being a parent, Ellie.
Oh, smoke machines come with being a parent. Oh, I didn't know that. Unsign me up.
Did they give you one when you left the hospital?
They did, I left it there.
Anyway, I was so glad to see that their poster, they had all kinds of different poses. Like they still look, they had their personality there,
Yeah.
and it was just, oh, it was so amazing. So well done to them. Esports Australia is really really doing the most at the moment, and yeah, definitely check out their Twitter. I've shared a couple of their posts if you are interested in seeing that. Speaking of interesting, Ellie, you and I previously talked about, potentially upgrading your setup.
Yes.
How about
Right.
that?
Yes. So my my desk just had a whappy do and was deleting all my notes, and I was just like panic mode because I was like, no, not my notes.
Because I've seen a couple of people in the community, like they're like, I've decked out my PC for Starfield. Like I've gone out and I've spent $20,000 on a 4080 graphics card, and they just, they must be sleeping in their PC because they're so like, you could buy a van for that amount of money.
moving on in there. Well, yeah, because like it's quite interesting because I think it come up with Hogwarts Legacy, right? We saw Hogwarts Legacy, and a lot of people were going out and buying PlayStations just to play Hogwarts Legacy. And I think now with Starfield coming through, that's just, there we go, an example.
Hold on, Ellie. Can you just pause for a second, because I feel a bit
Just called her out.
I feel a bit called out here.
A confession has just happened.
Oh my!
All right,
Ooh.
settle in, kids.
Well,
So
yeah. Go forth.
So it is not my fault that I thought that Hogwarts Legacy was only coming out on PS5. Okay?
I thought it was too, and PC.
Because it was at the Sony, the PlayStation showcase.
Right.
Yep. But didn't they just get like a earlier access? I can't even remember.
I think they had a specific licensing agreement that was probably like, you're responsible for, displaying this game. Anyway, so because I saw it all over, PlayStation side of things, I then freaked out because I didn't have one, and you couldn't get one. You couldn't get one in Australia.
Yeah.
And, you could barely get your hands on an Xbox because obviously the, oh gosh, what was it? It was something inside, the chips inside the
yes.
consoles
the
were,
shortage. Yeah.
yeah, there was a shortage of them. So that's why we couldn't get them. So anyway, I like freaked out, and I like was stalking like JB Hi-Fi website and EB Games. Like, when is it? I remember like sharing it on socials and people sharing it with me, and just like, anyway, so it's not my fault. The end.
That's fair.
I love that logic. I absolutely love it. My question to you would be, number one, did you finish Hogwarts Legacy? And number two, have you used your PlayStation since buying it after Hogwarts Legacy?
Okay, so I got the PlayStation before Hogwarts Legacy came out, so I was able to play God of War on there. So it's actually my God of War machine, because I can only play God of War on there. The Last of Us series is a little bit scary for me, so I haven't played it on there, and I know people are going to like scold me in gaming society for not sitting there and playing through it, but I just haven't. So is it worth it? Well, I can play my Blu-rays on there. So
that's a good point. It's not totally useless.
It's not totally useless. It's not a paperweight. Have I played Hogwarts Legacy? I own Hogwarts Legacy on everything you can own it on. So I have it on Xbox, I have it on PlayStation, and I have it on PC. And I do intend on purchasing it on Nintendo Switch because I enjoy that game so much. I haven't completed it on PS5 yet. And quite frankly, because I worked so hard on my Xbox save of the game. So yeah, Someone who was Rose in the chat. She said that there's an exclusive side quest for PlayStation 5 as well. So that's
right.
another thing. So I look, have I gotten my money's worth? Probably not. But that's because I have a really love-hate relationship with the DualSense, and I know everyone loves it, but I can't get over the back triggers.
No, that's fair.
Oh, okay. Mine's more just
And the
like
layout of the
grip.
The grip?
Yeah. I
have it
got
here.
red for filth when I made a reel saying I prefer the Dual Shock over the Dual Sense, and people came for me and they were like, the Dual Sense is elite. And you know what? This just feels so much more comfortable than the massive grip that is the Dual Sense.
Oh,
and
the width. Are you talking about the
Yeah,
width
right?
here?
Yeah, and
Like slipped out of my hand.
it's
That's
definitely
how bad
something
it is.
because I
Still got this
binged
one.
Miles Morales to finish it. I only had like 30% more to go, and my hands cramped after like an hour, and they've never done it with the DualShock. So I prefer the DualShock over the DualSense.
It's really funny
gone
that
down a
you
different
guys
road.
bring this up because one of my questions for you today was actually what kind of tech is important to you when gaming. And one of my points is a comfortable controller. And what I love, my favorite, is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I think this is one of the most comfortable controllers that I have ever held. And I have tiny hands, right? Very small hands. I do really like the Xbox controller, but I haven't spent enough time with it. So all I'm used to is a PlayStation controller. And I do like the DualSense, funnily enough. Here's my Spider-Man one that I unboxed. But I can get quite uncomfortable with it over time. So the Pro controller is very similar to the Xbox layout.
Yeah,
it's the offset thumbsticks. It's the offset thumbsticks.
Yes,
and I am a carpal tunnel sufferer as well. So I get a lot of pain in my wrists when I'm gaming for a long period of time. And I find that I tend to get sore the most with a PlayStation controller. And it is most likely the thumbstick layout. So interesting. Interesting that you have that opinion too.
Yeah, maybe it's the tendons.
For listeners on Spotify, you have to go and watch the clip on YouTube to watch Ellie right now. Very funny.
I was like, it makes sense. It honestly makes sense. And that I think that's what intimidates me with the Switch is because the Switch and the buttons look so small. And I have nails at the moment and I'm such a devil of like if I have to press square, my finger falls onto the keypad or the touchpad, and I always end up pressing the touchpad. I'm like, where is the long girly controllers? The long nail girly controllers need to be a thing because I keep pressing stuff with mine and they're not even that long, but they're long enough apparently that, you know, maybe the controllers are built for men. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I have long nails, and I don't know. I think it doesn't.
I guess it depends on how your finger curls in when you press a button. Like I've got short fingers, really small hands, so I have to reach really far to press buttons. So I can end up leaning on my nail at times.
Yeah, right. Well, regardless, it seems like everyone has, you know, their favorites and their loves in gaming, right?
Yeah.
And if you love something enough, you will upgrade your equipment. That's
100%.
my point of view.
Yeah. That's why I got a PlayStation 5, I reckon, because I was tossing off for ages because I do a lot of editing work on my PC that I could game on my PC as well as edit and everything and stream and everything would be so much more powerful. But then the PlayStation is literally, it came down to, I was splitting hairs, the PlayStation exclusives. That's what pushed me just over the edge to get a PlayStation 5 because I absolutely love all of the PlayStation exclusives and I'm not willing to wait until they hit PC. I want to get them on PlayStation, play them then and there. So that was my splitting hairs. That's what crossed me over the fence to a PlayStation 5. And I'm extremely glad that I did because I absolutely love my PlayStation 5. I love it.
It's a great console.
But what if there was something that was an Xbox exclusive?
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Because I have been thinking for a while because I would say I'm only loyal to PlayStation because I absolutely love all of their all of their games, but there has been Xboxes come through that I'm like, do I buy an Xbox to play these games? Because I absolutely love being a controller and console girly. I absolutely love that. And I'm not someone that sits on the side of PlayStation and absolutely hates Xbox and thinks it's gross. Like some people do. They actually like, they're like, don't want to do it, don't want to touch the opposite console. But I started my gaming journey with a PlayStation, and then I jumped to Xbox 360 for years and years and years. And so it was only until I got bigger and stronger where I could buy my own console that I bought a PlayStation 4 for the exclusives. So I'd be more than happy to buy an Xbox, but roughly they're still sitting at about $800 for the
Series
X. And then the S is sitting roughly at like $550. So they're still a lot of money. It's still pennies.
Yeah.
But if you compare buying an Xbox to buying a $5,000 PC.
Oh, yeah.
Upwards.
To upgrade PCs isn't even in the question. You could probably buy a PlayStation 5 and a Series X for less money than you would to upgrade your PC. Like PC parts are just hectic. You can really go all out and just make yourself a little spaceship, honestly.
I made a big spaceship.
Yeah, you've got an actual spaceship. We've seen your spaceship. I was tempted to get that casing after I saw it of yours, and I'm like, oh, she's tasty. But
they make a small one.
They do?
They do make a small one, and I had no idea until I already got this, and then I was like, oh, there's actually a smaller one. But it looks like it's too small for its design. So that's why I like the height of my one.
Yeah, because it might look like a little fish tank otherwise. It would look like a little funky fish tank. But the one that you've got is stunning. And do you find that it's a bit of a struggle having it on your desk, or is it because it's so aesthetically pleasing, it's just a desk piece now?
For me, it was the desk piece for my videos. Like I wanted that centerpiece or that highlight point that people could look at. But the only thing is it is so heavy. So it's currently sitting on 2 tables, the way it's positioned in the room at the moment. And people can see this in my YouTube videos on Instagram, but it's kind of on an angle off to the side. So because one of the glass panels, you can see obviously the motherboard through that side, it has to be on a certain angle, because if I have it the other way, you just see the cable management on the back. So it has to like sit in a certain position to look good. But again, like it's really heavy. So I need to have the right support underneath it. Like I can't carry it on my own. I need my other half to help me lift it because it just weighs a ton. It's worth it though.
But did you buy that with the purpose of creating content, or was there like a game that came out that you were like,
no, I actually never had my own PC built. Like my first PC I bought when I started content creation. And funny story, I actually started content creation back in the day by making Sims speed build videos. That was how my YouTube channel started. Before I ever did video gaming or tech, like, it was just Sims speed builds.
Can we still watch those?
There's a lot that are unlisted. There's a lot that are unlisted. I actually don't know what I left up, but yeah, I started doing that, and I needed a computer because at that point I only had a MacBook Air. So I went to Centricom,
not for the Sims,
and no, it was hard. So I went to Centricom and I said, okay, I have a budget of $1,000. At that point, I was broke, right? I was like 18 or something. And they gave me a PC that had an i3 in there. I think it had like a 1650 in there. I can't really remember because I don't have it anymore. But it did the job. It allowed me to play everything I wanted to play, which back then was literally just The Sims anyway, and make my videos and edit them. So I had that for a while. And then 2020, I bought my first gaming laptop. And I bought a HP Omen. Absolutely love that computer. Still exists. I gave it to my little brother though. It was an i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and I was just blown away by how powerful this thing was, right? But then I was like, no, I need to have my own tower. I'm so invested in the tech world now that I want to build my own. I want to say I've done it, and I want to be able to play my games, at high levels of everything. But I also had an NVIDIA 2080 Ti Founders Edition graphics card. I think I won that 2020, and that sat in my cupboard for about a year because I didn't know how to build PCs. So I was like, okay, it's time. I've got the money now. I'm going to buy my parts. I actually did a collaboration with Thermaltake. So there's a video of me building my PC on their YouTube channel.
That's cool.
And I built my first PC. So I bought all the parts. The only thing, that I got free was the graphics card that I won. So I was very grateful that the most expensive part I
Yes.
got for nothing.
Yeah.
The one that matters.
Yes. And that was a really long-winded way to say this is my first PC I've ever built, but that's basically the history behind my computer.
Yeah. That's
And I have another
super
gaming
cool. So
laptop as well. I got an i9 as well.
did they walk you through how to build it? Because there's so many pieces in there. I've seen one of those things cracked open and oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. It's a microwave for all I know.
It's very confronting for someone who's never done it before. I mean, yeah, it is. But they talked me through everything. Like I did it all myself, but they like showed me, okay, so this is what this component is on the motherboard, and that's where you slot the SSD in, or here's where you put the processor. You need to put down a little bit of force so it pops off the cap and all this stuff. And they talked me through everything, and it was actually the best way to do it because I felt so confident because I was so worried that I would break something if I did it myself and just followed a YouTube video. And because every case is different, and like I've got fans, I wanted to get like a I didn't want to go liquid cooling because it's too much maintenance for me, but I did want to go a cooler that had like the little display on it to show you temperature and everything, but it turns out I didn't even buy that. So trying to cable manage all the fans that I got was, a bit of a pain, but they taught me everything, and I'm very grateful for that because now I think I'd say I'm 70% confident to build one on my own. Obviously have YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd have YouTube up in the background. But again, it's more just trying to neaten it up and make it look aesthetically pleasing because the motherboard's really not that hard. When you put all the components in, it's really not that hard. It's just a jigsaw puzzle. But
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's combining all that crap that's inside it to make it look nice. That's the problem.
Yeah, because obviously with the luxury of consoles, you're not seeing
clean.
what's inside. So the cable management could be, it could be a mess, but you wouldn't see it because it doesn't matter. That kind of brings me to my question that I have for you all today. I want I want to introduce the topic of girl math. Now, I'm sure anyone and Liessshy was a little bit unsure, so I'm sure there's some people that don't know what this is, but there's this concept called girl math. And girl math is when you want to buy something, it's a bit expensive, and you sort of reason out why you should be able to purchase this. So you're justifying your purchase. What I want you to think about something that you have purchased that's been really expensive and will help you girl math it. Okay.
I was confused because just throwing that gender term in front of it, I was like, God, that just what? I don't understand.
The alarm bells. Girl math.
It was alarm bells. I know.
It's not a red flag. It's okay. So something really expensive that I have purchased is an Elite Xbox 2 controller. So the customized ones cost me $250.
I want to build one of those.
Okay.
Tasty.
It's very nice. This is the special edition COAG one, Confessions of a Gamer Girl.
Those colors look amazing.
Oh,
these are
stunning.
our colors.
The chrome. I'm here for the chrome.
Yeah, isn't that great? So yes. So how can I justify $250 for one controller when I can buy a controller that's $99?
Oh,
how'd you break it down then?
Okay, this is how I break it down. This is how I break it down. So first of all, this has a rechargeable battery. Normal Xbox controllers don't have rechargeable batteries. 2 batteries can cost like $8. If I'm using my Xbox controller every single day for a few hours, I'm going to change my batteries every day.
That's fair.
So I'm going to do the maths. Here we go. This is why it's maths, because you have to get your calculator out.
It's the official maths. That's
I'm going to walk
what
you
I
through it.
love, because my
Hold
like
on,
mental
hold on.
like
365 days a year times $8. That's $2,920 on batteries.
for batteries.
Yeah.
What about
If
leap
I had
year?
to change the batteries every day, that's how much I'd have to spend.
And you're throwing them away each time as well.
And you just throw
The
them
environment.
away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. 2,000. So anyway. I'm also using this every day. Okay. So every day, so it's $250. There are 365 days in the year. So 365 divided by 250. Hold on, that was takeaway. 365 divided by 250 is $1.50 a day. It's basically free.
It's less than coffee. They love doing that.
It's less than a coffee.
Less than a coffee.
It's less than a coffee a day.
It's less than anything a day.
That's girl math.
Cause he lives. That's full on oppressive, because my girl math is built on pure delusion. Pure delusion. I won't even lie. I'm so happy that the term girl math came out, because I have been operating on just delusion for so long. Because all right, my girl math is when I'll sell something. So I'm a big secondhand shopper. I'll sell something if I don't want anything, and I'll buy it. I'll always look first secondhand. Like everything I'm wearing right now is secondhand. Love it, right? So I'll sell something $20. I've got that $20. And then I'll buy something $30. Oh, it cost me like $10 because I exchange that $20. It's fine. But the delusion comes in next time I'm buying something for $20. It's free because I sold something for $20 that one time. That's my delusion. I do not do it with math. Throw out the calculators. Math, never heard of her. Delusion. That's where I sit. So, but Liessshy, you're different. You've got rationale and logic and budgeting.
Not all the time. Sometimes.
Go forth, because I want to know how you live your best life, because I'm over here in Fantasyland living with dollars.
I will say, don't get me wrong, I am an impulse buyer, but I don't have children. I don't have pets. I don't have many responsibilities, right? I pay my rent, I pay my bills, whatever. But I also budget, and I budget with my partner. We're very good when it comes to money and when we want to save for something. So, and I've never had that previously. So it's actually a really good trait that I have now. But I justify all my purchases based on my business. That's my biggest thing, because a lot of the stuff that I tend to buy is always related to my content creation. So yes, it can be a part of the business. I'll actually use it for the business, but it makes me feel like I'm not actually wasting my money. But then, on the flip side of things, for example, there's something I want to buy that I don't really need to buy, but I want to buy it anyway. And it's a little mini DJ deck, because I want to learn how to DJ again. I used to as a teenager. And obviously I'm affiliated with JBL, and I thought it'd be really cool to bring that back, right?
Okay, how much is a DJ deck?
So this one is a little novelty one, right? It's $170. But because I work in a place where I can get it cheaper, I will get it on a staff discount. However, for me, I'm justifying that, cool, I can do that for content, so I'm going to buy it,
Yeah.
The cost of living right now, well, it does. I'll make it back. That's fine. But I need to start thinking a bit better in regards to that, because the cost of living is so expensive now. And I really got to learn to balance it a bit better.
For sure. I can girl math this immediately for you. Okay. So if you were to go out, okay, just hear me out. If you were to go out to a club, for example, how long would you spend in a club? What, maybe 5
hours?
Yeah, 4, something like that. How much is entrance? Okay, entrance. I've been to some clubs that cost $50 to get into, so we're just gonna say $50, okay, to get into one.
$50.
Oh my lordy!
Now let's say you spend I don't know, what, $100 on beverages, 150 maybe.
I haven't been to a club since I was 19.
We're just gonna go.
That's
with
a lie. I went
150.
in Las Vegas.
I know she's pretty. She doesn't pay
I've
for
never
drinks.
been to a club. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you. But no,
okay,
I've
how
always
much would
been
you
in a
spend on an-
relationship.
I'm a virgin.
No, Ellie just said that I'm pretty, and you said that I get drinks. I said no, I've always been in a relationship, so that's actually never happened.
Okay. How much would you spend on an outfit?
Look, I am an outfit repeater, which is good. So I don't often buy new clothes. But if I were, it could be probably around $100.
$100. That's pretty cheap. What about shoes? That's $50.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
need
shoes! I wear boots all the time, and I have a full wardrobe full of boots, so I don't have to buy them.
All right. Well, I'll okay. I'll take that off.
I'm cost effective.
How much is an Uber from where you live? How much? You probably gonna spend like.
I would probably spend $100 on an Uber to get to
the city and back again.
Yep, $200.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so in total, we're looking at $450 for one evening.
It's a lot of money.
Okay. How many times a year do you think you'd do that? Maybe 5?
Not often. Yeah.
Maybe 5?
Yeah.
5? Okay. We're looking at $2,250. You're basically saving money because you can have a club experience anytime you like in an Audi.
Yeah.
You don't
I've got my
need to
deck.
Yep.
I've got my JBL party boxes. I've got my Spotify. That's $12.99 a month or whatever it is. It's not really much, is it?
Yeah. So
add a bit of Delulu in there. You have your friends. You just turn to your house plans, add the Delulu, you're ready to go. You have the club.
Tell people to come to you. You could actually
I'll charge them entry.
Charge them entry.
Big brain.
Smart
that's
thinking.
big brain thinking.
And then that's more money to spend on all my content gear,
Exactly.
Quote unquote.
Go, man.
That's easy.
Content.
Yep. I like it.
I think we're seducing her over to girl math. I think we're getting her over.
Look, I think I just do it anyway. I think budgeting is just like the term that I use, but behind it, I'm just justifying my spend.
I was gonna say it's just
so
justifying.
I'm already doing it. Yeah, but to be fair, like let's say my PC was something I saved for, right? And my MacBook was a $4,000 computer, but that was a big investment on my business as well. So again, it all relates back to my business, so I can justify that.
Excellent. Speaking of being cozy in your Audi, being a DJ.
DJ in that Audi. If I could go to a club in my Audi, I will.
No smoke machines though.
Oh yeah, no. No smoke machines, Audi, unlimited drinks, and Liessshy DJing. I'm there. I will pay the $50 entry fee.
Cozy gaming though. Oh, great topic. A great topic. Because this is what I'm so heavily invested in as a gamer these days, right? So I thought it'd be really cool to talk about it because it's a genre that has grown so fast in such a small amount of time. Now, it's a genre where a lot of females are now entering, are people that have never really played games before because it's just so open and accepting and easy to get into. And I absolutely love that because it's a safe space for everybody. Now, the gamer that I am, right? I play a lot of cozy games because for me, it's relaxing. It's my downtime. I don't need to be too switched on to play. Yeah. And when I started diving into my shooters back in the day, I was so scared to ever play one because it was so stigmatized as like a male's game, right? Call of Duty in particular. I didn't want to jump in because, again, I was a girl. I don't want them to know I'm a girl. I'm embarrassed that I might be bad at it. All those kinds of thoughts were popping into my head. Whereas with the cozy gaming genre, again, it comes back to acceptance. You don't have to be a good gamer to play them. They're easy to get into and have fun. And I am loving that this is the general feeling across the board with the genre because so many people feel the same way. And I'm just interested to know how you ladies feel about this genre and the direction it's going, because I just adore it. It's a safe space that I am so happy to be a part of, and I just want to hear your thoughts because I feel like I'm such a different gamer to you girls, and it'd be interesting to see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, for me, cozy gaming is something that I do believe has a massive cult following in the gaming community. And I think the reason why I don't talk about it so much is because I sometimes can't get into cozy games. And I think
That's fair.
because a lot of the time they don't feel mentally challenging for me. Like they don't I feel like I'm not solving a lot of problems or it's not exciting enough. I do believe that a lot of these cozy games do have some fantastic stories to tell, and they're very inclusive. And there are some societal concepts that some games wouldn't touch with a barge pole, but in cozy games it doesn't matter because they can do whatever they want. They're not they're not as limited. But I also I think it's because I'm not a big fan of animals. Like when I say animals, I mean I don't find
Interesting.
this
The
is a red
pixelated
flag. I
animals.
feel
Word it properly.
I don't go hunting them if that's what it sounds like. I mean like cute little
Yeah.
I don't know, like cartoons, like little like anime, like that kind. I just I grew out of it like really
Yeah.
quickly, I think. So for myself, that kind of doesn't translate itself to games. Like I've tried to play Animal Crossing. I have it. My daughter loves playing it. She likes designing like clothes and stuff in there, and I have a house on our island and stuff, and she'll like put stuff everywhere on it. It's really funny. And yeah, they don't have the hold on me, but I do see their
Yeah.
value. The closest thing that I play, or like I feel like I go back to play, because of its coziness, is Disney Dreamlight Valley. That's the only one that's kind of stuck with me, and that's because it's obviously linked to Disney. So, and I think it's the Disney DNA or whatever is
That's your
inside the
nostalgia.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think cozy games do bring us back to our childhood, and obviously like everyone's childhood was different and the kinds of things that we liked, but whatever game that we feel like brings out our inner child is obviously, is going to be different. So so yeah,
I think it's
that's my
interesting that you touched on a point where it doesn't feel like challenging to you, and that's where I'm the opposite, right? Because I have such hectic days that I want something that I can just be at peace with when I'm gaming
oh
at
no,
nighttime. And I think that's my attraction.
We crave the stress.
No, look, and that's so fair enough, because back in the day I used to as well. I wanted something that was really intense, but my taste has changed, and
Yeah.
I find it so hard to switch off from being online all the time that when I jump into these games, they bring me peace. And, the thing with cozy games is you think of farming sims, right? Stardew Valley has really set the precedent for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there isn't a lot of variety. So it all tends to be the same thing. Like I'm very guilty of buying a lot of games on Steam that are all pretty much the same thing, right? You're on a farm, you grow your crops, there will be some quests to do and there's a story, but it all resorts back to being a farmer. Or cool, let's throw in a little bit of witchcraft into that, but you're still farming. So it is all the same. But I can see that the genre is starting to expand a bit more, and we're starting to see, a lot more narrative-driven games or visual novels, and some that will tie in a bit more of like the puzzle side of things with like a really cutesy art style or graphics. So like it's good that there are things that are slightly different, but you are right with the animal side of things too. Like one that I'm thinking of right now is Paleo Pines, which I'm very excited to play at the end of this month. But it's got dinosaurs. So as opposed to, your cute little cats and dogs and your goats and your cows.
I don't know, like they're good, they're great, but
yeah. It's an acquired taste though. I think without generalizing it too much, it can be
Mm.
perceived as childish, right? Especially when, there are so many different genres out there that we're all playing. But yeah, for me, like, it draws me in because it brings me peace. And games
That's
haven't
good.
brought me peace in such a long time. So that's where I find the value in it. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And I also think that it's inviting a lot more women that have never really played games before to jump in because it's easy as well. It's,
Yeah.
I think of older people who are mothers as well that it might be so chaotic with their life and just want something easy, or they can play for a couple of maybe 20 minutes, jump in and just
Yep.
do something. It's a nice way to do it. Whereas, we jump into God of War or The Last of Us, and if you haven't played it for a little while, you forget where you're at in the story. At least with these, you can just pick up and you can play and keep going. So that's my attraction to it. And how about you, Ellie? Because I'd really like to know where you lie, because I feel like you're you're on both sides with this.
Well, she screams at pumpkins, so she just
I was
brings
I was
the
gonna say, I'm
madness.
kind of similar to Doom in the way of like we visited this like 8 weeks ago. Weeks ago, we
Indeed.
visited that I was playing Story of Seasons, and
Yes.
I wanted to succeed so bad at my farm. I literally was. I was like, grow tomatoes. Like I just really I was rage playing a cozy game. And I think that's like an oxymoron on some levels. Like it just does not make sense. And so I think I'm like the opposite of like, I've had a hectic day. It's been a bit crazy. I just want to let off some steam. And so that's
Yeah.
when games like Fortnite come in handy,
Yeah.
or anything of my quick shooters, like anything that I can do a bit of destruction. I'm known for lighting things on fire. I have a firefly tattoo for a firefly jar tattoo for Fortnite because I just love throwing them and burning stuff. And I think I'm like almost the opposite of you, Liessshy, that I just want carnage and chaos to
Yeah,
blow off
okay.
some steam. And I think I'm the same with Doom, is that it can be a little borderline dull for me. And
Yeah.
I was never a Sims girly, like never a Sims girly, because I found myself doing what I wanted to do in life. I would get my sim up early, I'd have a smoothie, I'd go to the gym, I'd go to uni, I'd come home. Like I found art imitates life. And I was like, well, why am I making this little pixelated person do this when I should be doing it in real life? And then I also realized I was playing The Sims wrong, because one of my friends was like, my sim is a neuroscientist. And I was like, you can do that. Like, it doesn't have to like mirror your life. Like, I was like, damn, I didn't know you could do that. So I was definitely playing The Sims wrong.
Yeah.
But I've given my fair share of cozy games a go, and I definitely wouldn't write them off saying, oh, they're just not for me. But
Yeah.
I think I would pick up something a bit more action packed before I'd pick up a
You
cozy
lean
game. And
towards it.
also, it's kind of like another dot point is that I'm very, very, very much a completionist, in the way of like, I love finishing stuff. I love getting that 100%, not trophies, but just 100%ing the game. And a lot of cozy games is ongoing.
Yeah. It's very
And
open.
exactly.
Sandbox. Yeah.
And the most that I played was what's the Animal Crossing Wild Worlds on DS? That's
Mhm.
probably the only ongoing cozy game that I've had since I was like literally a kid, that I
Yeah.
continue to play and enjoy, because you're slowly chipping away at your life. But literally, I'm just chipping away at my mortgage. Like that's all I do, is collect things and sell things to chip away at my mortgage, and that's what I do in real life. So I think cozy games, in a way, I'm just like trying to live out what I want to do in real life, and I could get
Yeah.
sucked in there creating a perfect life. When Fortnite,
You
I
could
could,
just do them.
I could
Yeah.
shoot Optimus Prime and then go ride on a dinosaur with Lara Croft. Like it's a bit it's a bit
Yeah.
silly. It's a bit
Or even
silly,
Call of
which I
Duty
like.
now. You can play as Nicki Minaj. So
Oh
Stop
my
it.
goodness.
Miss Ninky Majaj, I love her. I love her, and it makes me want to play.
Um, I was going. There's a couple of points there I was going to talk on. I think there's just this sense of freedom that sometimes you don't have in cozy games, where, and pushing the limits or pushing the boundaries. Ellie, you have been playing The Sims wrong, because you can do lots and lots of things. You could torture your Sims. I thought you'd be more like a put your Sim in the pool and delete the ladder kind of girl.
No, I need fire. I'm a fire
You can
gal.
set them on
I
fire.
need a
If you set them in a small room with no fire alarm with the oven
or a fireplace.
perfect.
or a fireplace, they'll find a way to set themselves on fire.
Do you remember that Sims video? I think it was on YouTube that went viral years ago, maybe like even 10 years ago now. How she put her baby on the floor and then put her baby in the barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember almost weeing my pants at how funny that was. And I was like,
Oh
I
my
didn't even
God.
click that I could do that. Like I thought it was like a mod or something silly, but I need to revisit The Sims clearly. That's what I'm taking away.
That's
You
funny.
should do the 100 baby challenge. We'll talk more about that a bit later, but essentially you just anyway, we'll talk about it later. I think Palia putting cute in an MMO,
I was just about to say that.
good. I think it's a good move for the cozy
genre.
games.
Yeah.
I
100%.
think
it brings that sense of community in the online
it makes
aspect
it more social.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's more social without being like a social life sim as well. Like it kind of combines both that farming and a little bit of adventure, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think that is such a good direction. And I'm very excited to see what other devs can do in that space as well. And make it a little bit more involved in the MMO aspect. Like Paley is great because you don't have to be with other people, right? You can see them around. You don't have to interact with them. You can still do what you want to do. But there are some points when you need to jump in with them to get certain resources. But I also think that they could do a bit more in regards to being online with other people. So it'll be cool to see how they progress as they keep developing the game.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting opportunity for all kinds of gamers, and no matter what game you play, there's always something out there for everyone, which is something that we love. We love to see it here at Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. What we also love to see is our wonderful chat that's been absolutely fantastic today. Thank you so much to Control Alt Craft. She has doing her due diligence, moderating our chat. We also had Red Dead Panda come in, which was amazing. Love to see her. I'm trying to tee up a co-ed conversation with her at some point, but living in New Zealand can be a little bit the time zone,
Right.
Yeah, RSJ fan, wonderful. Love to see you guys. And yeah, speaking of love to see it, what is everyone going to be loving to see this week? What are we looking forward to?
I actually don't have time to game this week. My week is very busy with events, so I'm looking forward to seeing a movie that I'm going to see and a gig.
Ooh, that's
very
exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. I got no time for games this week. Life's taking over.
Fair.
Well, speaking of gigs, I'm off to see Evanescence tonight. So I'm driving to Perth. So my inner 16-year-old is squealing. But it also means I have to pry myself away from the Xbox and Starfield. So
you can come home to it.
I can be hungover playing Starfield. So it's a bit great. I'm kidding. I haven't. I'm going with like a group of mums, so it's going to be a little bit like Mum's Gone Wild. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I'm open to it. But also something else that's really exciting is next week I'm going to the Starfield launch party in Sydney. I'm going to be there. It's going to be amazing.
That looks so cool. So jelly.
Sydney's very far away though, so yeah, a big long
plane
ride. Pardon?
Is it the Friday or the Saturday?
No, it's Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh,
Wednesday
that's
evening.
right. It's not even on a weekend.
No.
Ooh, painful.
So I'll get to catch up with. We had Kim on the podcast, so I'll get to catch up with her and all of the girlies from the Bethesda PR team for ANZ and SCEA. So love to see that. And a bunch of content creators that the internet friends. It's going to be great. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be awesome. I'm just going to be absorbing all the Starfield. I was watching your stream the other day, Doom, of Starfield.
Oh yeah. I did
I had a look in because I was like, oh, do I want to like involve myself with it? Because I was like nervous about spoilers, but also I was like super excited. So I was like, stuff it. I'm going to check out some streams. So I'll probably continue to check out some streams this week of Starfield and just absorb that.
Nice.
Because I'm loving Elgato's collab with Bethesda, creating all the gears they've got going
that
on.
That was
wave.
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. When it first came out, I was like, oh, isn't that funny? Like, I wonder if they did something with Elgato. And then it was with Elgato. I was like, stop it. That's when you know that the gear is going to be top tier because, like, not even just saying it because we're powered by Elgato, but I've been thoroughly enjoying all of my Elgato stuff. Like,
Very
if I'm
good.
separating myself from the fact that we're powered by them, like, I love it. So the fact that it's all the beautiful colors, the whites with the color scheme, honestly, it's been gorgeous. So I just want to live in that world for a bit longer. And I'm in Sydney next weekend as well, but like I just miss out on the party, which is Devo, because it's not on a weekend, but just all things Starfield, I think.
Starfield. You heard it here first,
Starfield.
guys. Thank you so much.
Too open.
No, not cozy. Not at all.
Not.
Once again, thank you to my lovely panel, to the chat, and to all of our lovely hold on, is it love hearts like these? I'm doing it.
It's like this.
What?
My console measuring.
She did the controller thing. If you're listening on Spotify, you have to go back and watch it. But thank you all for being here, and we will see you again next week.
Yes. Take care.
Bye.